Hey everyone, this is J7Jace bringing you some builds with the Dark Knight. Even though they are widely considered to be overpowered or very strong, I'll show you some setups that will take them even further and to the next level. Let's get started. I'll briefly go over a build for them I made in the past, which was to use Fell Swords for the Dark Knight. While they are very strong weapons, especially if you have a low faith stat, they don't hold a candle to the Night Swords in my opinion, as they are two-handed and have Dark as their element. This can make Dark Knights more vulnerable to things like Arts of War and zombie enemies. In addition, casting Atheist on a Dark Knight won't increase their damage with Fell Swords, as it's based on their actual faith stat instead. But to briefly recap that build, it's to have high bravery and low faith. While equipping Valhalla, Grand Helm, Grand Armor is best, but if you prefer more speed, then Mirage Vest is more ideal. Or if you want even more PA, then equip Power Garb. And lastly, for your accessory, Brigand's Glove. For your abilities, secondary will be items for Phoenix Down versus zombies, and to help revive allies. For your reaction ability, Shida Hadori is ideal as we won't have a shield to help us evade physical attacks. Then use Attack Boost and Move +3. With this build, you will be able to handle the vast majority of all enemies, although ones that can inflict negative status ailments or many zombie enemies will be an issue. So for this next build I made, it's able to handle all situations. It's my Invincible Dark Knight build. Instead of using a male Dark Knight with Fell Swords, we will be using a female with Night Swords instead. So equip Chaos Blade, Reverie Shield or Scutcheon 2, Ribbon, Genji Armor, and Chantage. Then for your abilities, any secondary, Mana Shield, Safeguard, and Move +3. Even though you'll be doing weaker damage and won't be as fast compared to the previous build, nothing can really harm you. An alternative setup is the sub Genji Armor for Brave Suit or Grand Armor, and Chantage for Brigand's Glove or Tyner Rouge. Then equip Vehemence or Attack Boost. While Safeguard is nice versus things like Divine Knights and Thieves, it provides no benefit versus virtually all other enemies. Although in the hardest of fights like in Brave Story or the Knights Templar, I do recommend having it equipped just in case those Divine Knights are able to get off sneaky Crush armors. My last two builds aren't nearly as good, but they are still pretty fun and viable. If you'd rather have a tanky Dark Knight setup, have low faith, then equip Defense Boost, and equip either Save the Queen or Lordly Robe. Your damage won't be that great, but it's a fun build and strong one before you're able to get the best weapons like Chaos Blades and Valhallas. If you want to use some different abilities instead of the overpowered top tier ones, use Regenerate for your reaction ability and Life Font for your movement ability. You should be able to tank hits which will trigger regen from Regenerate, and with Life Font you will heal upon moving each turn. Another build that will work extremely well is to use dual wield and with Night Swords, so Chaos Blade in your right hand, as this will be your primary weapon when attacking and using darkness, then Excalibur, Crystal Helm for males, Ribbon for females, then Mirage Vest and Bracer. For your abilities, any secondary, although Arts of War isn't a bad choice, as you will be dual wielding and with the massive weapon power from Night Swords and PA from Dark Knights, this can be a deadly combo if you want to cripple enemies before finishing them off. Then equip Shida Hadori and Move +3. You'll be hasted and can do amazing damage. If you'd rather not journey or go out of your way for Chaos Blades, you can use Excalibur in your right hand, then Save the Queen in your left. Equip Crystal Helm, Power Garb, and Bracer. Although nowhere near as deadly as the Chaos Blade, this is more than enough to tackle the story and random battles. If you'd rather not use dual wield, you can always use Attack Boost instead, as giving Save the Queen to another character is probably better. These are my builds I like using for the Dark Knight. Just remember to have high bravery when using Night Swords and low faith for Fell Swords, but more often than not, you really shouldn't have that much difficulty in most fights if you have a single or multiple Dark Knights in your party. Just grinding to get one may take a while. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much again for watching, and I'll see you next time with more FFT videos. Take care.